Apache is a much-recorded instrumental written by Jerry Lordan. The original version was by the British group The Shadows, recorded in June 1960 and released the next month. It topped the UK singles chart for 5 weeks. In North America, the tune is identified with Jørgen Ingmann, a jazz guitarist from Denmark. In 1961, his cover version, credited to Jørgen Ingmann and his guitar, made number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 9 on the US R&B chart. The track reached number 1 on Canada's CHUM chart. A 1973 version by the incredible Bongo band has been called hip-hop, a Euro unregistered trademark's national anthem. Although this version was not a hit on release, its long percussion break has been sampled countless times on hip-hop and dance tracks since the 1980s. In March 2005, Q magazine placed Apache at number 96 in its list of the 100 greatest guitar tracks. Composition and original recording: English songwriter and composer Jerry Lordan came up with the tune. The title Apache reflects the source of Lordan's inspiration, the 1954 American Western film Apache. The original recording was by British guitarist Bert Weedon in early 1960. It remained unreleased for several months. In mid-1960 The Shadows were on tour with Lordan as a supporting act. The band discovered Apache when Lordan played it on ukulele. Lordan figured the tune would fit The Shadows. The band agreed. Shadows version: the recording was done at the Emmy Abbey Road studio in London. Singer-guitarist Joe Brown had bought an Italian-built guitar echo chamber that he did not like and gave it to Hank Marvin, who developed a distinctive sound using it and the tremolo arm of his Fender Stratocaster. Bruce Welch borrowed an acoustic Gibson J200 guitar from Cliff Richard, the heavy melodic bass was by Jet Harris, percussion was by Tony Meehan and Cliff Richard, who played a Chinese drum at the beginning and end to provide an atmosphere of stereotypically Native American music. Record producer Nori Parama preferred the flip side, an instrumental of the Army song The Quartermaster's Stores, now called the Quatermaster's Stores after the TV series Quatermass. Parama changed his mind after his daughter preferred Apache. It has been cited by a generation of guitarists as inspirational and is considered one of the most influential British rock 45s of the pre-Beatles era. The Shadows said a Euro. What's the most distinctive sound of our group? We often wondered what it is ourselves. Really, it is the sound we had when we recorded Apache a Euro, that kind of Hawaiian-sounding lead guitar. Plus the beat. Later versions, after the Shadows version began its rise up the UK charts, Weedon's original climbed to number 24 in the UK. However, neither the Shadows nor Weedon had any impact on North America. Then in 1961, Ingmann produced his own twangy multi-tracked cover version that was a hit in the United States and Canada. From this point, the song became a staple of instrumental combos on both sides of the Atlantic. Among many recordings, Spanish rock band Los Picnics covered Apache in 1961, The Ventures in 1962 and Davey Allen and the Arrows in 1965. Sonny James recorded a vocal music version in 1961. It was produced in Nashville by Chet Atkins and was review-rated as a Spotlight winner. Billboard Music Week in its edition of March 6, 1961. George Harrison said the Beatles used to play Apache as well as other Shadows hits during their shows in Hamburg. In 1970, English progressive rock group the Edgar Broughton Band released a single Apache Dropout, which combined Apache with a version of Captain Beefheart's Dropout Boogie. The highly unorthodox single reached number 33 on the UK singles chart. Incredible Bongo Band version. Apache has been cited by Afrika Bambaataa as an early element of hip-hop music with a record sampled and scratched by DJs. However, the hit versions by The Shadows, Ingmann or Weedon were not the versions that Bambaataa, Kool Herc and the like turned into hip-hop, a Euro unregistered trademark's anthem. The 1973 version by Michael Viner and a funk group called The Incredible Bongo Band was the version in question. The Incredible Bongo Band added a bongo drum introduction and included more percussion. The drum break was played by legendary drummer Jim Gordon. Though this version was not a hit on its initial release, it became the sampled foundation of rap and hip-hop classics, reworked by hip-hop performers such as the Sujihal Gang, LL Cool J, The Roots, Nas, and techno performers Future Sound of London, Moby and drum and bass acts J Magic and Goldie. The 2013 documentary Sample This, directed by Dan Forer and narrated by Gene Simmons, recounts the story of the incredible Bongo Band and its recording of Apache. Notable samples. The Sujihal Gang, Apache. In 1981, the rap group known as the Sujihal Gang covered the incredible Bongo Band's version of the song on its second album Eighth Wonder. In 1982, this version peaked at number 53 on the Billboard Hot 100, number 51 on the US Dance Chart, and number 13 on the US R&B chart. In 1995, this version gained additional popularity after being featured in Viva Lost Wages, a sixth-season episode of the NBC sitcom The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, as well as in Whoops, There It Is, a subsequent clip show from the series. Using the distinctive beat and bongo drums, the Sujihal Gang added rap lyrics with references, including, "The Lone Ranger" is mentioned extensively as well as his sidekick and his horse. The lyric "Now What You Hear Is Not a Test" recalls the Sujihal Gang's earlier hit Rapper's Delight. The song Popcorn by Hot Butter is referenced via the lyric, "What's that? Hot buttered popcorn." The popcorn and its butter are referenced in lyrics right beforehand, recalling a 1976 Mazola margarine commercial "We Call It Maize" featuring a Native American woman. The Monster Mash is mentioned in this song, as well as the Jerk. So Mix-a-Lot, Jump on It. In 1996, So Mix-a-Lot played off the lyrics to the Sujihal Gang's version of Apache and his hit version of Jump on It, released on the album Return of the Bumpasaurus. Fatboy Slim, Apache. The movie Snatch soundtrack has an extract of a DJ mix CD by Fatboy Slim, which contained the incredible Bongo Band version of Apache. Switch, A Bit Patchy. In 2005, Switch extensively sampled the covered version by Michael Viner's incredible Bongo Band for his track A Bit Patchy. The track has since been used to advertise William Hill online on TV, and has been remixed by artists such as Eric Prydz and Sinden. Other songs that sample the incredible Bongo Band's Apache. DJ Grandmaster Flash interpolated parts of the incredible Bongo Band song Apache in his song The Adventures of Grandmaster Flash and the Wheels of Steel. West Street Mob, a group on the Sugar Hill Records label, made a song which interpolated parts of the Apache song by the incredible Bongo Band. This song was called Breakdance. Young MC sampled the break in his 1988 rap Know How, mixed with Isaac Hayes' theme from Shaft. MC Hammer sampled the bongo loop in his track Turn This Mouth Out, off the 1988 album Let's Get It Started. Vanilla Ice sampled Apache in his hit song Ninja Rap. It was also sampled in the Ultimix version of Ice Ice Baby. C+C Music Factory sampled the start of Apache in the song Things That Make You Go Home. It was used as the beat on the song We Run This on Missy Elliott's album The Cookbook. The Beastie Boys used a sample from the incredible Bongo Band version of Apache in their live version of Root Down a Euro, most notably the version that appears on the Tibetan Freedom Concert Live album. It was also used in the original version of Can I Get Witcher by the Notorious B.I.G. The British blues singer Amy Winehouse used a sample from Apache on her song In My Bed, produced by Salaam Remi for her 2003 album Frank. Salaam Remi also utilized Apache for sampling when he produced NY rapper Nell's hit single Made You Look from his 2002 release Godson. UK rapper MIA made Apache the center of her 2005 Radio 1 B-side Apache Riddim. Now sampled IBB's Apache in his 2003 single, Made You Look, and on his 2006 single, Hip Hop Is Dead. Also in 2006, The Federation sampled a piece of the song for their single I Only Wear My White Tees Once. Sampled on the song Funky by DJ Shadow and Cut Chemist on their 2007 collaboration, The Hard Sell. It is used in the song Against All Odds by Chase and Status featuring Kano. The Roots sample the bongo break at the beginning for their song Thought at Work from their album Phrenology, which is in homage to Men at Work by Kool G Rap and DJ Polo, which also samples the break. Double D and Stiansky sampled the bongo break for their classic mashup collage Lesson 1 Euro The Payoff mix. Madonna incorporated the bongo samples to Into the Groove during her 2008 Euro 2009 Sticky and Sweet tour. TLC sampled the bongo loop in the video version of their song, Hat to Da Back. Peter Askegren used bongo samples in his cover of Thomas Delever's hit Dancer Danger Currency Vol. Rage Against the Machine interpolated parts of the percussion break in their cover of Renegades of Funk. Other cover versions: in the 1961, C. Zentner released a version on his Big Band Plays the Big Hits album, along with Upper Lazy River. The Ventures released a version on their 1963 Dalton album The Ventures Play Telstar and the Lonely Bull, BST 1819. In 1969, Eyes of Blue released a version titled Apache 69 under the name The Imposters. The B-side of this Mercury label release was the song QIII. In 1972 the Moog-based band of session musicians called Hot Butter released a cover version of Apache as follow-up to their hit Popcorn. In 1976 the electro-rock French band Rockets, in their first eponymous album, released a version featuring synthesizers, disco rock drumming, and heavily treated guitars. In the 1970s the Tennessee Farm Band did a version. In 1977, the Tommy Siebach Band recorded a disco-styled version and filmed an accompanying music video of Apache. Set on a rocky hillside, it featured scantily clad dancers adoring a grinning Tommy Siebach while he plays keyboards. This version was successful in Europe. A 30-second edit of the Shadows version was used in an April 1988 UK TV advertisement for Tango Fizzy Drink. Black Sabbath with Tony Martin on vocals played a live cover of the song at their 1989 concert in Moscow. Ska Dow's recorded a ska version of Apache, including some lyrics, mostly the word Apache. Shouted repeatedly. The 1992 compilation album Ruby Tracks features a version of Apache by Senseless Things. In 1992, Norwegian a cappella group Gelklang recorded their version of Apache on the album Holly Holly Who. The California Guitar Trio covered Apache for their 1995 album, Invitation. Wyclef Jean's Masquerade includes the melodic hook played on violin as the song closes. In 2002 Portishead's Jeff Barrow and Adrian Utley recorded a cover version which was released on limited white, green, pink and black vinyl 7-inch single under the name The Jimmy Sound. In 2003, Jimmy Thackeray, Texas-based blues man, covered Apache for his album Guitar. In 2005, the German band Scooter covered this song as an instrumental for the album Who's Got the Last Laugh Now? In a techno version. Later that year, a single was released which combined elements of Apache and Rock Bottom from the same album, known as Apache Rocks the Bottom. This later appeared on the second disc of the UK edition of its 2008 album Jumping All Over the World. On the 2006 album Higher as Normal, the Dutch band Normal made a compilation of instrumental songs of their own and other artists. Apache is also in it. The song, Varkens Pessen, means literally bullying pigs. French guitarist Jean-Pierre Daigneault recorded a version of Apache on his #1 hit album Guitar Connection in 2006. The album went platinum and included a DVD on which Daigneault shows how to play the songs, including Apache. Linked with the Shadows for years, Daigneault later recorded duets with Hank Marvin on other songs. On Missy Elliott's album The Cookbook, We Run This uses Apache as background music. Apache was covered by the folk band 17 Hippies on their 2007 album Himmlicht. Junior Brown regularly performs Apache in his live shows. Switch a bit patchy, Subfocus a bit patchy. In 2010, Jeff Beck performed a version of Apache during his tribute concert for Les Paul in New York City. It was released in February 2011 in the CD Jeff Beck's Rock and Roll Party honoring Les Paul, and also performed on the DVD Blu-ray release of the same concert, also released in February 2011. A version of Apache was used as the theme to the long-running television show Wild Chicago, which aired in Chicago on PBS. Symphony of the Nymph by Ariel Pink's Haunted Graffiti. David Bowie borrowed part of the melody of Apache for the chorus of the song, How Does the Grass Grow? from his 2013 album The Next Day. Minnesota Lynx. The Minnesota Lynx of the WNBA adopted Apache as the unofficial team anthem in 2007. Following victories, the team would dance to the song at center court. For the first home game of the team's first WNBA Finals appearance, the team brought in the Sujahil Gang to perform the song at halftime. References. External links: soul-sides.com, All roads lead to Apache.